Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have made my way through a lot of the input from Saanich residents, and tonight I would like to talk about some very important stuff we have going on our strategic plan. Many of us heard from this while we door knocked, and many of us have committed ourselves throughout this term towards a process of reconciliation. As we know, Mount Douglas is Pecoles. It is the creation story of our Saanich and Saanich and Esquimalt peoples. These are sensitive ecosystems. These are the most sensitive ecosystems we have in Saanich. As my husband stated, we don't have the same opinion on this, but we live on the park, so we are constantly, we live along to Glendenning, so we hear the constant dog fights. And what I wanted to talk about tonight was the fact that we are in an ecological and wildlife crisis, and in order to survive climate change, wildlife needs habitat. And so tonight, one of the things that we've heard from a lot of our residents, but really our First Nations neighbors, the Saanich Leadership Council, I really hope that we make a more concerted effort to reach out to them. I have reached out to them, and I've had several comments back from them. And like Miss, I'm not able to mention a name, right? Okay, well, the general feeling is that they're very concerned about the wildlife right now. There's a lot of nesting babies, and there's a lot of things, and you know, holding a leash is a good way to stop animals from going into the bushes where all of these things are going on. And so the other thing I want to talk about living on the side of the park is that 7 days a week almost, there are park stewards pulling ivy and all of these things. And, you know, this is just to, you know, a lot of them experience a lot of damage by dogs. And, you know, I don't like the fact that they may feel that their work isn't appreciated by later being used as a washroom for dogs. Anyways, so I'm happy to discuss this, but in terms of sensitive ecosystems, we were given this park. It is in our care of Saanich, and we were given this park, and this is one of the most disturbed parks in the region. I've been doing a 2-decade restoration project on this park. And so what I wanted to talk about is today we found out there is funerary remains being found all across Canada. And I wanted to allude to the funerary remains that are located all over Pecoles. All over Mount Douglas, there are funerary remains. And so I have a feeling that the First Nations do not want dogs and animals disturbing their funerary remains. So I was a bit nervous to say that, and I do have a big dog, and I do walk in the park without a dog, and I did raise my own taxes. So this is honestly how I feel about sensitive ecosystems. This is why I ran for council. I ran for council to protect sensitive ecosystems, and so I honestly believe that we have a job to do. We made promises, a climate emergency. We promised to protect habitat so wildlife can adapt to the changes climate change is bringing forward. This is the only way we're going to succeed. With the rescinding of the EDPA and not having protection of sensitive ecosystems on private property right now, it is essential that we maintain a level of sensitive protection in Pecoles. So this is the other thing. A lot of people don't like deer. They want their fences bigger. Well, guess where the deer go? The deer go to sleep in Pecoles. But guess what? They can't sleep because guess what? Dogs and deer do not gel. Dogs kill deer. And so I appreciate everybody's connection to wildlife and to the wilderness. I know it's a beautiful park, but if we are to keep it for future generations, we are going to have to leash up our dogs or at least make some concessions. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. The sentiment that Councillor Brownoff put forward about the her points, I second those points. But also, as a matter of good governance, I believe that we have acknowledged a community group that has gone over and beyond. They have done community citizens engagement. They have done adequate civic engagement. And I feel quite disingenuous that once they're not on the chamber or in the line, we're doing something, we're postponing again. And my problems this term have been the postponements, the delays, the deferrals. I want to vote tonight, and I wanted to vote on this. I wanted to put all the work that I've done on this topic for the last 6 months to bed.